All right, we're going to talk about the 5 parent functions that we're going to use to make some of the transformations and shifts on the graphs we're going to use here. So we're going to start with our linear function, and this is going to be f of x equals x, or y equals x, right? That's the same thing. And this is just going to be the line where it has a slope of 1, right? Up 1 over 1. Goes through point 0, 0, 1, 1, 8, 8, anything and itself. So like -3, -3, that's going to be the line y equals x. Okay, because anything y equals x also equals that. The quadratic function is the next one. This is going to be represented by f of x equals x squared. All right, and if you think of any input you put in, the output's going to be squared. So again, 0 squared is 0, 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9. And anything negative as well, let's say I do -3 right here. If I plug in -3, -3 squared is +9. That would also be a point on the graph. The cubic function is our third one. This is going to be represented by f of x equals x to the third power. Okay, so again, any input just gets cubed, and that's how we come up with the output here. 0 cubed is 0, 1 cubed is 1, 2 cubed is 8, 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, so that would also be on this graph. Same thing if we plug in a negative this time. When you plug in a negative, like let's go -2, that would be -2 to the third power, which would spit out a -8 as your output, and so that would also be on the graph down here. That's why it shifts down instead of back up like our quadratic. The square root function is represented by f of x equals the square root of x. So anytime we put in an input, the output's going to be the square root of that number. So think of this, square root of 0 is 0, square root of 1 is 1. The square root of 4 is 2. The square root of 9 is 3, and that's why it curves a little bit more flat than the rest of these. These ones take off to infinity a lot faster than this one does. It gets there, it just gets there slower. And then lastly, the absolute value function is f of x equals the absolute value of x. So very similar to our original linear function, where f of x just equals x, but now absolute value of x means it's going to turn everything positive. So the right side of the equation is going to be the same, but the left side of the equation is going to be all the positive values. When I stick in -7, I spit out a +7. When I stick in -2, I spit out a +2, and so on. All the values that are the outputs will be positive.